Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunter Duty Eternal DLC just dropped today, and we're going to be going through my overall impressions and how I feel about the game as a review of sorts. The way I've done this video is the first section is me going over the features of both the Tech Marine and the Dreadnought. If you don't want to watch those and you want to kind of not have any spoilers, you can jump to the end where I just give you my impressions, and it's on the intro screen, so it's not going to ruin anything. I don't show off anything in that portion. It's me just ranting over it. And do keep in mind too that this is in the middle of a live stream. I've recorded it during that live stream and I'm putting it up here, but I wanted to put a quick little preamble before we jump into it. Also as well, you can find a link to my Nexus store in the pinned comment and the description. Nexus will get you a Steam key directly from the developer, and Chaos Gate Demon Hunter is on Nexus. It's a great way to support me and my dog and his stifling treat addiction. Keep in mind too that the DLC at the recording of this video is not on Nexus, but it will be hopefully in probably by the time the DLC actually launches. But let's get started here on my review for Duty Eternal, the DLC for Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Okay, so with the Duty Eternal DLC having just launched today, I'm streaming right now and I'm recording this right now. This is the day before, but still, we get some cool new things added to Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Demon Hunter. And the big thing here is this new currency called Archaeotech. So what happens is, once you reach corruption level 4 on a planet, 15 days after that, you'll get an event where you have to go do a mission at a location. Once you do that mission, you will then be granted Archaeotech and the Tech Marine. 15 days after that mission, you do another one, and it will then grant you the Hangar Bay, which gives you access to your Dreadnought. So let's take a look at the Tech Marine first, and my guy's super low leveled. And what this Archaeotech does is it acts as a currency to help you get requisition and different items for your 2 new characters added to your crew. So taking a look here at the abilities for our Tech Marine, they have that standard kind of initial passive that is randomized, right? So this guy's got Blade Master, giving crit damage for all melee attacks. Then we can also see there's a focus here on kind of being a little bit of a pet class. He gets combat servitors, and these combat servitors can be outfitted with different weapons and stuff like that. My dog here is having a ball in the background. Down. But what he can also do with these servitors are, they have more hit points, they can move further. This allows them to do certain things here, like, where is there's an explode? Here. Target a combat servitor at any range to deliver a blast that deals 6 damage over area 3. Target is destroyed, ignores cover, and it's got armor piercing. You can make this do more damage, increase the area which it affects things. It has a lot of really cool stuff going for it. He can eventually upgrade himself into a flamer. He gets a lot of kind of abilities that will allow him to kind of be more of a support role, because that's how this character is kind of working, right? Like, you have the ability to, get return fire going on. You've got this one right here that Knights uses for all their auto abilities, get an additional 1 per turn. This is going to give armor pierce 2 return fire. You have rear strike for your combat servitors. So this is a lot of really cool ways to buff up your combat servitors in really cool, fun ways. But you also get a lot of ways to nuke and melt down mechanical units with this. Data Spike. Target a mechanical enemy at range 5 to afflict incapacitated for 1 turn. No stun, ignore, cover. Also, you can increase the range on it. You can warp charge it to afflict Dominated, which is really sick, right? So you can actually dominate another mechanical unit for 1 whole turn, which is pretty spicy. And then this one makes it so that when a mechanical ally is killed, this knight gains 2 willpower, and I believe your servitors count as a mechanical ally, which is pretty fun here. So also too, you have the retrain ability now, where you don't have to wait till something's dead. I don't think that that's added with this, but there's also, like, I think it's 4 or 5 enemies added with this DLC that are free, which is kind of nice. Let's take a look now at this portion too. So jumping into, no, the loadout, we can go to the servitor slot, and we can see that my Archaeotech, I can use that as a currency to buy different types of servitors, which you can see here. So they have different abilities too, right? Auto support fire. So this guy will shoot if you shoot, or well, someone around him shoots. And it's pretty nice too. So this is a multi-melta. This is a heavy bolter. This is a breacher, which has armor break. This is a plasma cannon, which has knockback and is sick. This is a servo arm servitor, and this is a hydraulic claw. Now, this is just tier 1 servitors. These are not any of the higher rank stuff where you get a lot more variety, I'm sure, and a bunch of other crazy things. Now, this also applies to this Archaeotech, applies to his range weapon to get different bolt guns like Illumination or Eternal here. Same thing here with the melee weapons to get access to different axes. And these will, of course, give you different abilities. And these are, again, just tier 1 stuff. I haven't gotten farther into the DLC to get access to any of the tier 2 or 3 stuff. You should probably hear my dog just going to town on his squeaky toy right now. But the servo harnesses too are going to give him ability to have better repair. So very similar to what you get with the apothecary in that helping out the battle medicine, this will help out in that repair ability. Or this will have an additional servitor slot. So I can really kind of increase this pet class in your army. And I think that's really sick, is adding a really cool pet class, right? You have the chaplain, you have the paladin, you have the librarian. Now we get the tech marine. Oh, purifier's not that cool to me. But that's not all. That is not all. We also have our dreadnought. And the dreadnought could be customized just like a normal character, changing out chest, pauldron, and greave little accoutrement, the crest on him, the name, and everything. So it's cool. It actually has a cool, fun presence within your army. And he repairs, or when he's wounded, he has to be repaired. So you can see this is going to take me 12 days to do, and some servitors. So you kind of have to be mindful how you use them, just like you would any other knight in this game. You can't just kind of throw them into the fray, even though they have a ton of hit points and a ton of armor. And they also get passive ability here, Interred Hero, gain 1 willpower per turn, which is really cool. And they're immune to a lot of things too, like knockback and the such, bleed. They have a lot of awesome abilities here, especially their active abilities. Smoke, target a blast hazard at range 14, area 3 for 1 turn. Smoke, ignore cover, and smoke reduces range damage by 4, either in or out of the smoke. So it can work against you, so you have to kind of be mindful of it. Ancient's Charge here too is a nice big stun with superior knockback, which I believe kind of bypasses normal knockback immunity. And then Heavy Flamer for him right now, gives him a nice spread attack, because he also has loadout, a different gun he can use. So he has a twin las cannon, the multi-melta, the plasma cannon, which is just amazing. I love the plasma cannon for what we saw. And then the heavy side cannon, which I have not used, but I would really love to use. And then with your choices here, you also have abilities. And just to show off the left arm here real quick, you can get a Doomglaive on here, or a missile launcher. So you can really go crazy with the kind of fitting for your dreadnought, which I really, really dig. And different armors too, to really kind of change the overall look of the character, just like we get with our actual individual knights. But going into the character, abilities. I can go down a bunch of different routes here. So if I go over here, this is going to increase my side cannon capabilities. Astral Barrage will no longer hit the Dreadnought's allies. Or over here to boost up my Nemesis Doomglaive. Or over here to make my Doom Fist stronger. Here is going to give me bonuses to my plasma cannon so that overcharge works better. I just love that you can kind of cater these out to really stack up the Dreadnought however I want him to be. Same thing with the multi-melta here as well. But take a look at this really sweet ability. True Silver Bulwark. So the knights adjacent to the Dreadnought cannot be targeted by ranged attacks. It's not that it gives cover, it's that you outright cannot target those knights, which is actually huge because he takes up 4 little spaces when he's standing somewhere. So that gives him a lot of really good coverage to make it so your knights can kind of use him as quite literally a moving bulwark, a wall that they cannot destroy. Well, like they can destroy it, but still, my point remains. And also, this will make it so that the Dreadnought gains 25% resistance, which increases his chance to resist afflictions, and then the Dreadnought gains 1 armor. So you can get a lot of cool stuff from this. Also, Aegis Repair, when the Dreadnought kills an enemy, heal 2. On top of the willpower he's generating, it makes the Dreadnought really, really, really sick. I really enjoy this. Also, he has a lot of really good abilities to pop mechanicals with his multi-melta. Stuff like this, target a mechanical enemy at range 2 to destroy them, which is very, very nice. You just have to get up close and personal, and it costs 4 willpower to do it. So you get a lot of really cool ways to kind of influence the game. And what I like about the DLC too is the DLC does not come in on a new game. It comes in on both a new game and an existing save. So whichever you choose. On a new game, I think you're going to take a little bit longer to get into this. Existing saves can get into it pretty quickly. It just pretty much seems to take like 15 turns because you've probably done the criteria already and not even known it. But overall, I guess the question is this DLC worth it? So the question remains, is this DLC worth it? Now, we did not show off the new starship that you get. You get like a Gladius class frigate, and that will enable you to do some other cool, fun, special missions. I was told about them, but I have not played them, so I cannot give you an honest bit of feedback on that. So I just want to be transparent and fair about that. Also, adjoining this is a free update that's going to add more monsters and some more missions to the game, which are all cool things. What the real question here again now, is this worth it? So as of the creation of this video, I don't even know what the cost of Duty Eternal is. And it's set to come out 9 hours after I'm recording this little bit. If this is a $10 DLC, it is the cat's pajamas. It's absolute tits. It's great because you're getting a really cool new unit in the Dreadnought that feels balanced. It doesn't feel completely broken. You're not going to just have this huge thing slamming through stuff. And if it gets wounded, there is an actual bit of time you can use it in between your missions. Like Castellan Crow is not so broken because he has that wound kind of recovery time. So I feel like every time I do use him, he's a really cool little treat. But it's the same thing with the Dreadnought. When I use the Dreadnought, I feel like I get a really powerful character that gets to do a lot, but not when that completely breaks the game. So I do like that. And the Tech Marine has a lot of really cool upward kind of advancement. There's a servitor called Bombard that'll able to pretty much just, well, bombard things. So the servitor gets a really cool placement in a pet class for the game, and both of those two things are really cool. In addition to the Gladius frigate and using that, the new missions, the new strategy types, the new maps, all those things I think for $10 absolutely makes it worth it. If this was a $15 DLC, I still think it's got enough under the hood that you could enjoy it. Anything beyond that, you have to ask yourself, did I play this game fully? Because this will load on a current save. Have I played the hell out of this game, or am I coming to this game for the first time? If you're coming to this game for the first time, get it with the base game. It'll add so much flavor to the base game, and it adds a nice layer of progression in. So once you unlock the Paladins and the Chaplain and the Purgator and all those guys, or the Purifier and the Librarian, you'll then get the option to unlock the Tech Marine and the Dreadnought. It's a cool bit of progression. I kind of like that. It feels really awesome. Now, if you're coming back to the game, I think it's great because it makes the game very fresh and fun and interesting. And you might have forgot about some mechanics. So it'll be fun to kind of relearn them with the DLC. But if you've played the hell out of this game, you have 100, 200, 300 plus hours into this game. You played on the hardest difficulties. It might not have enough to bring you back. It has enough maybe to give you a taste of it, or maybe get it on discount, but I don't think if you are a veteran of the long war here and you've been plugging hours into this game, it's going to have enough to completely, rock your socks. I still think though, if you are have not beaten it, or you didn't put a ton of hours into it, or you're brand new, this is going to be an amazing DLC. And I think that this DLC also very much excites me for what the future of DLC will look like for Chaos Gate Daemonhunter. I would love to. I would pay for a DLC that swapped things off of Khorne, or I'm sorry, off of Nurgle and onto Khorne, because we already get Bloodletters and Bloodthirsters at the very beginning of the game, the tutorial. So I'd love to actually get the chance to fight against a lot of Bloodletters and Bloodthirsters and whatnot. Those might be the new monsters that are being added with the free update. I don't know, so just kind of take that with a grain of salt. And I think that the thing that really bothers me the most about current Warhammer 40k games is that we're always fighting Nurgle. And I think that might be Games Workshop's idea of presenting a complete faction, but the Thousand Sons also are a complete faction because they have their Primarch back. The World Eaters will be getting their Primarch back. So I'd like to start seeing a digression from just the same old plague stuff that we were getting in so many of these 40k games, Dark Tide included. But still, nonetheless, I think that Warhammer 40k Daemonhunter, or Chaos Gate Daemonhunter Duty Eternal DLC is well worth the time, well worth the money investment, depending again upon what that price point is going to be. $10, absolutely. $15, definitely think so. $20, might be a little bit harder of a sell for me personally, especially with the base game being $45. That then puts you at that $65 price point that most games come to after tax and what have you. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of whether or not to pick up Duty Eternal. You can see an entire stream of me playing through this in both the Dreadnought and the Tech Marine missions on the channel. I'll link that in the upper right hand corner so you can see the full gameplay if you so wish. It's just me going through them and talking and having some fun. It's very, very, very fun to get that Dreadnought for the first time. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.